of you. Hello on YouTube, hello on Facebook, Instagram, all the places. So thrilled that you are back here for what's going to be a really illuminating conversation today. So thrilled that you've joined us. We are going to be having a conversation about brand, probably in a way that you have not experienced before, and coming at it from some new angles. And I'll share why we're going to have this conversation, who's going to have it with me, and all the good things. But I want to make a couple of announcements because we have some really exciting things happening this week. So, number one is that Tuesday, tomorrow, November 18th, we are going to have Dr. Julia Mossbridge with us for a very special event. We're going to do a book review party, and you're going to hear about Dr. Julia Mossbridge's new book. We're going to talk about the new Telepathy Tapes documentary that is just been finished wrapping and is coming out in 2026. Dr. Julia Mossbridge is the lead scientist in that documentary, and she's going to be with us talking about both her new book and the documentary, and we are going to do a book review party for her. So that's coming up tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we are doing a full day workshop. We've never done this before, but we're going to do a full day on books that start movements. We're going to do a one day, and I'm going to teach the full fundamental system that I use every time I start creating a book. It's helped me write 6 consecutive bestsellers. And again, we're not working on just books that are inspirational or informational. We're working on books that actually start movements and create transformation in the world. And we're really, really excited to do that event on Wednesday. And then on Friday this week, I want to do a drum roll, the first ever download masterclass. So if you've been listening to the show, you know that I am working on a new book called The Download that comes out in 2026. It's about how to train your brain to unlock your genius and create miracles. And it's actually getting into the neuroscience of miracles. And I'll be teaching one of the strategies, and really it's a technology from the book, on Friday from 12 to 1 Eastern time in the Download masterclass. All of these events are free. They're available to anyone. You do just need to register. So just make sure to grab the links wherever you're watching this episode or listening to this episode so that you can come and join us for all or some, whatever one is speaking to you. And on Friday, you will learn at the Download Masterclass a technique to work on the gamma brain state, which is called super consciousness. So that if you're wanting more clarity, increasing your intuition, increasing those signs and synchronicities and opportunities that seem to just like come out of nowhere, all the great things, then you are going to get to experience some really exciting new work around the gamma brain state and around getting your downloads in general. So really excited to have you all for this. And remembering again, these are all free. They're a gift to you. Happy early Thanksgiving. And we're really excited to have that time together. Now, I want to see if our guest today is here yet. Let me just check. If not, we've got a backup. But we are hopefully going to be talking about the way that we could use human design in our branding. And I do just want, whether we have Ginger Reinhardt on with us today or not, if we postpone that episode, that's fine. But I want to talk about the importance of brand, okay? Because when we think about the idea, brand can seem like something for really big companies like Nike, Disney. We can think about brand as something for, oh, when I'm like really big or my company would be really big, that's the time to talk about brand. But here's the deal. Right now, brand and brand is simply how people know you and what they associate with knowing you, right? Your brand is sort of where you're visible and what people feel or think or know about your business or you as a person or the thing that you do or your thought leadership, okay? So brand right now has become the number one most important thing in business and in sales and in thought leadership and even in book publishing, because people are no longer interested in only buying what you do, whether it's a book you wrote or a service you provide or a product you sell or an organization you lead. They're no longer like 10 years ago. It was all about, what is the thing that you do? What's the result they could get? And then we moved into a type of economy that was focused on it was really about the why. If you remember Simon Sinek's very famous viral TED Talk, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? That was a big movement, over the last 10 years. And I've talked about this for, the last 12 months, and I believe it's very much still going to be true and even more true going into 2026, is that now we're in a relationship economy where people care very, very much about who the person is that is creating that product, offering that service, writing that book. The who is more important at this moment in time, and we'll talk about why, than what you do and even why you do it. All right. So it's pretty interesting. And it's a deep shift from what we've seen in previous situations, right? We've seen our economies evolve in terms of what people are looking for. Now let's talk about some reasons for this. What are some reasons why people care so much about who they are either doing business with or investing with or buying from or reading their book or whatever it is that you are offering to the world? Because people are so burned and the trust level is at the lowest it's been. We've had other people act like it's the worst it's ever been in history. It's not, right? We do always go in cycles, but there have been really big low points. 2008 was a big low point. The 1970s, mid 70s were a big low point. And people do not trust traditional marketing, traditional advertising for a million reasons, or they don't trust themselves to take action on something. There's just so many different things that are factors in terms of what people are feeling that they can trust, what they want to invest in, and why. And right now, who you are. And are you a value match for that person? Are you someone that they feel a sense of connection to, that they believe in the thing that you're teaching them to do and in the journey that you're taking them on? There's so many factors, but this is now why people are not able, even their CEOs of really famous big companies, and they don't want to be in the limelight. They don't want to think about a personal brand. They don't want to think about, I have to, share my story and all of these things. They don't want that necessarily because they've wanted to be about the work and the brand. But right now, the brand is the person. Everybody is invited and called to develop their brand, and we don't get to hide behind the book cover or the company or the whatever. And that's a good thing because people want authenticity. People want something that matters. They want to know that there's a true connection. They want to feel a flow. They want to feel the alignment with the person and feel like, okay, I can trust them. I can trust me, and I'm going to move forward. Even if that's to listen to a piece of content or read a book, something that we think of as a small investment of their time or their energy or their money. Certainly up through really big things, those of you that consult or have a private practice or whatever it is, right? And it's not just your movement, it's you. We're teaching Books That Start Movements on Wednesday, right? You are the leader of the movement. We didn't just want to hear about third wave feminism. We wanted to know Gloria Steinem. People wanted to see Gloria and what she was wearing and what she was doing and who she's hanging, all the things, okay? So this can feel like, oh, to a lot of us, but what if it wasn't? What if it was exciting to really care about letting the world know who you are in all kinds of dimensional ways so that they can find their Venn diagram with where what they're looking for and who they are meets and overlaps with what you are and who you are. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about over a series of episodes. And we're going to just get it started today. And again, if Ginger, if you're here and jump on, just unmute so we can bring you up. And otherwise we'll have Ginger come back and do a part 2 on this. But brand, we're getting ready to go into a new year, and this is going to be a absolute differentiator, whether you're just starting out and brand new in the world of offering something, or whether you're a billion-dollar business. There is nowhere and no one, whether you're a corporate entrepreneur, whether you're a beginner or advanced, whether you are on your 5th book or your 1st book, everyone gets to think about their brand. And we're going to get that thought process started today. Or if you already have been working on this a lot, you're just going to be able to bring it even more to the forefront for yourself. You're going to strengthen your brand. Okay. So I want everyone to be thinking about the coming 12 months as a time to think about 100xing your brand, not even 10xing, 100xing. I want that to be the mindset that we are in, because there is no doubt in my mind that 100 times more people need to know about you and understand who you are and what you do than who currently do. Right? That's what I know is true about me. I think it's true about all of us here that are joining in this episode today. So I want you to just do a little analysis of yourself, your brand, your sense of how people know you in the world, and how many of them know you, and what do they know about you. I want you to just do an inventory of those two coordinates. So first of all, in the scale of everyone you want to reach and touch with your work, scale of 1 to 100, what percentage of people that just need to know of you? Where are you on that scale? Are you at 1%, like pretty much no one knows about me yet? Or are you like, actually, I'm really, really well known all across the populations of people I want to serve? I'm like at an 80. Okay. So I want everyone listening to just give yourself a little bit of an inventory here. All right. And then once you have a number, those of you in our live audience, if you'd put that in the chat so that we can see where we are. Okay. Okay. So we've got one person Karen's at a 60%. Yeah. Yeah. We gauge it based on, if you think of the whole universe of people that you would love to know about who you are, and just know that you do what you do, right? We will get into what you do in a minute. But if you think of, okay, I'd like to eventually impact 1 million people with my work. That's the kind of legacy. I want to touch 1 million lives with my message. And you currently have 5,000 people between email and social media and other things, then you'd be at a 5 on that scale of 1 to, or whatever it is, right? So just like, this is an estimate. This is just for us to get a gauge. So we have people, Anne saying 10%, Sue saying 10%, 30%, 8%, 1%, 5%. So we have a full range. Like, I'm putting myself at 10%, and I've even, developed a decent reach, and we have, kind of large numbers we have 100,000 on YouTube. We have, 25,000 person email list, like, just in terms of people that know, of what we do. Right. But not even scratching the surface. That's why I am on a mission about 100xing the brand. And I love that people care very, very much about knowing who they are in relationship with, whether it's an author or a coach or an advisor, a doctor, a lawyer, a practitioner, whatever it is, right? I think that's great, because a lot of people who were all flash and blah, blah were exposed for that in the last couple years, and people invested and felt like, oh, that wasn't a good experience. And so they're craving the real deal. That's what I want you to take away from this brand. All branding is really about is letting people know you're the real deal. Okay. So our first coordinate was, how many people of the people you ultimately want to impact with your work know of you? And now, how many of the people that do know of you really understand what you do? Maybe it's the same amount, right? It could be the same amount. It could be a different amount. So just do that check-in with yourself, okay? Because sometimes people have heard of you and you think, of course they know what I do. They know about my book. They know about my services. They know about fill in the blank. And only a fraction. You would be shocked. You'd be shocked if you even went on people that follow you on social media, people that people follow you on social, people, maybe if you have an email list, a newsletter, people that have come to things that you've done, and you actually sent them a 5-question survey. And you said, I'm so happy you've been in my world. You're in, my community, my network, whatever it is. And just want to do a quick check and say, name 3 things that I, offer to the marketplace. What's the name of my book? What I bet I'll tell you, I can tell you what the stats are in general for thought leaders. It's like 5%. 5% of people even know exactly what you do and the different offers you have, or the different services you provide, or the thing that you run, or the books that you've written, because they either, forget the social media algorithms show your stuff to about 5% of people, even that follow you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what we're talking about here is the importance of personal brand moving in, or just brand in general, moving into the new year. And what I'm charging this community with is to think about 100x jump. And that doesn't mean 100 times more work. No, no. It doesn't mean 100 times more hustle. It doesn't mean, what it starts with is a commitment that you make within yourself to say that I am going to become that visible, even if you're scared, even if that feels like awful to you, because people cannot come and work with you. They can't read your book. They can't sign on to something if they don't know who you are and what you do. And I know this seems like 101, but I always think everyone gets it. It's like, I make social media posts, I send emails, I have a website, I go speak a lot. And people are like, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you had that. I didn't know about that book. I didn't. So what branding, one of the things we're going to be talking about in this series on branding is we're going to be talking about the fact that you're going to need to be so repetitive in a way that you can't even believe, so consistent, so omnipresent in order for, remember, people have a 2.9-second attention span right now. That's it. It goes in, it goes out. 11 million bits of information are coming at our subconscious every single day. All right. So this is not something that's a one and done or a once a week and done, or it doesn't mean you're making Gary Vee style 50 posts. Like, I've never been able to have that desire or that ability at this stage, but it does mean that it starts first right here, to say that you are going to make a stand to be 100 times more visible in the coming year. And you are going to let people know, not just here's an offer, buy this, or here's my book, buy this, but know you. And there's many, many, many ways to do that. We're going to be bringing in some wonderful guests to be talking about this as well over the coming months. But I want to get started today just with planting the seed that brand is being shown, and this is well researched in many different studies at this point, that will be a differentiating factor in the next 12 months. In the coming year, in the year 2026, leaders of any size, brand new to Fortune 500 companies, that are willing to truly show up and show the world who they are, and bring people in and let people know the things you don't think have anything to do with the thing that you do. People want to know you as a human being, your passions, your values, your interests, your shortcomings, your dreams, your behind the scenes, your lifestyle. Okay? These are the things that are going to be super, super, super important for us to be able to share with others. So what I want to do is dimensionalize this a little bit to get the wheels turning. And again, we're going to have a makeup episode with our guest Ginger Reinhold, who's going to come in and talk about branding with human design. But I want to talk about, just to keep this really, really simple, if you want to start developing a 100x brand, starting this week, starting today, they're really like two key things you can think about sharing when you make content, when you make a marketing asset, when you make a social media post, when you go live, when you share something. And one of those is to provide tremendous value by teaching something. Probably all of us do this really well at this point. You can share a tip, a strategy, a method, an idea, a new paradigm, an inspirational quote that speaks to the philosophy, those kind of things, right? So giving and sharing value through inspiration, through information, through curation. You know, when I did one of the things that I've been so happy to share with people for years is that I reverse engineered 100 New York Times best-selling books. And those of you that have been to our workshops know I teach how to create a book based on making sure that you do the three key things that every one of those New York Times best-selling books did, right? That's a core foundation of what we teach. I didn't need anyone else to go have to spend all those hours reverse engineering 100 New York Times bestsellers. I curated that. All right. So these value posts, right, can be about the value that you've done by curating something, by creating something, by inspiring in some way, your favorite quote of the, okay, right? So that's just like these, value driven things. But the other thing that I have resisted, because I think, who cares? And what would anyone want to see this? And I don't feel like making this kind of content, but I will tell you, it's one of the things that will make or break your year next year. And it is to show people the life they want to live because you're living it. What are the things that, because you've done the thing you teach, what has that given you in your life? We call these the benefits of the benefit. So for me, that looks like, okay, I help people write best-selling books. But then when I show people what doors the best-selling books I've written have opened for me, if I show myself backstage getting ready to go to a speaking engagement, stepping on stage in a big auditorium with the book in my hand because I wrote the book that got me the invitation for that speaking engagement, that's a benefit of the benefit. That's a life that some people that train with us in our thought leader programs want to have. Maybe it's freedom. You teach people how to become an entrepreneur, and you're like, it is 2:00 on a Wednesday, and I'm sitting in my backyard, petting my cat, looking at this tree. And I get to do it because I'm not working at this job that I don't like, and I'm not doing this thing, right? So I want you to be thinking about, what are the things, the benefits of the benefit of the work that you do, the lifestyle that your people that you serve and want to serve are wanting? What are the things they aspire and dream to do? And then show yourself doing them. This is back to that Gary Vee idea of document, don't create. Okay. So this might be basic. These might be foundational things, but I know for myself when I inventory, am I doing it? It's like knowing it's good to get 8 hours of sleep a night is very different than getting 8 hours of sleep. Knowing it's good to drink 2 liters of water a day is very different than drinking the 2 liters of water a day. So what I'm asking us in this kind of brand foundations conversation, because brand is going to be the number one differentiator, the number of people that know about you and like the way they associate with you, which is going to happen through you sharing your values, sharing value, and sharing the lifestyle they want to live. What are the biggest dreams that you've achieved that the people you are here to serve are living? And show it. Show it over and over from every different direction. What are the things that, because you are a stand and you're leading this movement, that you get to do in your life that your people want to do? And then show them you doing it. It's a different twist on, documenting your life, because it's through the lens of the dream that someone else has. So I want to hear, those of you that are in the live audience today in Zoom, I want to hear what is a dream that the people you're here to serve have? What is something that they really, really, really want, personally or professionally? Health, money, relationships, business, could be any area. What is something that they really, really, really want that you are living now? Right? So Karen wrote in mental and physical health. So Karen, you're showing yourself meditating, getting your mental health really. You're showing yourself, fit, like lifting weights, because you're like, hey, I'm only getting stronger with age. Like, I am so physically well. I have energy and vitality. I'm jumping on my rebounder. I'm hugging trees. I'm out in nature. What is that thing? Right? Rhonda's saying they want to feel good about themselves. So Rhonda, what ways do you feel so good about yourself? How does that show up in your life? Is it you take yourself out on a lunch date, or you treat yourself to just this downtime and being time instead of doing time? Do you know how cool of a post that would be to have someone like laying on the couch and be like, you know what? I'm not doing anything right now because I have set up a life where I get to be as much as I get to do. Jennifer says, being a writer of 16 million words in 5 years. So you want people who are like, I want to get words on the page. So Jennifer showing herself, cranking out words, doing writing wedges, doing sessions. It's like, I just did 500 words. Here's how I get myself to do it. Right? So these are great. These are great ideas to get us started. What are the ways that you are able to show people the life they want to live? Okay. So you're going to teach them the things they need to know to do their dream, and then show yourself living the dream. And I am not talking about, and here it comes, okay? We're going to do it. I'm doing the bro marketing voice. I'm not talking about Ferrari, yacht. I'm sitting here. Yeah, I'm not talking about that kind of crap, right? We're talking about real authenticity. What are the things that matter to you that you now live, that probably the people that are going to be thinking about reading your book or joining your program or coming to your practice or whatever it is, coming on your retreat, they want to live that too. And by showing yourself doing it, you're not bragging, you're not showing off, you're showing them it's possible. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's who people want to be in relationship with. We're in a relationship economy. So brand in a relationship economy is not just stats, results, social proof, screenshots. It's realness, it's truth, it's deep connection, lifting the veil. Yes. So Joyce, what people want to have a deep relationship with their grandchildren, even if they don't live in the same geographic place. So Joyce could show herself, whether it's, FaceTiming or doing a fun gift exchange or having a fun way that they connect or they do a car ride. We have a thing with my son and my mother, since we don't live in the same state. And when we're on a once a week on a trip, either home from school or to an activity, that's a grandma call. It's just like built in. Like we just, we check in, Grandma, what happened today? And it feels very immediate. It's not a text. It's like real connection, right? Beautiful dance parties. I love it. Okay. So I want to hear one thing that you're going to take from this episode and actually do, whether you're very experienced and have a very well-developed brand, making sure that enough you in the brand, not just the thing you do, right? What's one thing you're going to do this week to build your sense of more people knowing about you and understanding who you are and what it is that you do? What is one action? It could be just, I want to hear one thing from everyone in our live audience. Okay. One way that you're going to move your brand forward this week, because that's going to set the foundation to just growing that 100x, right? We're going to talk about lots of other ways to do it. We're going to talk about bringing human design into it so that you do it in a way that's authentic. You might not be a video person. You might be a quotes person. Doesn't matter. Okay. So we've got an Instagram post introducing yourself to an audience. It's scary. This takes so much courage. I think everybody here would love to just do your thing, do your craft, teach, but to show people, like documenting who we are and what we do, it feels weird at first. Yeah, great. Showing your oily lifestyle, repositioning on social media to be more personal. It feels cringy, Amanda. Yes, yes. Okay. So, you know how we get rid of the cringe? Exposure therapy. Okay. It's exposure therapy, reps. The more reps we do, the more we realize. And I want you to think of someone who has inspired you because they have been willing to share a little bit more of who they are. Maybe they shared something vulnerable, or they showed you inside behind the scenes of something. Maybe they did a video of their house, or they showed themselves cooking something. I don't know. I want to know who is someone that shared something that actually was helpful to you or fun for you or inspiring for you and made you feel closer to them, even if they're someone you just saw online. Think about what they did. Was it that they did something in an environment, like a personal environment that they wouldn't normally be letting you into? Is it that they shared something more intimate about themselves? Yeah. Anne's going to reach out to higher level contacts. I love it. Rumi's finally going to be on Instagram. I love it. All right. These are great. Okay. So just think about one way they're going to let people in a little more. Okay. And you can look to people that inspire you and say, oh, but they gave me that gift. This is about service. It's not about documenting ourselves. That's why I resisted it for so long. I was like, oh, gross. I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, look at me in my kitchen. And, like what it's not look at me. You are giving them a portal so they can step in to who they want to be through you. Great. So we've got some of you reaching out for referral partners, mindset. Great, great, great. I love this. Yes, I love that. So you created for Veterans Day paragraphs from the upcoming book that were raw and vulnerable. People got interested. So you're going to do more of that. And the where I am now, because you chose to move through it, right? Remember, we teach something useful or share something inspiring, and then we show them the life they want to live. People need to see. They won't do what we say, they'll do what we show. So show yourself living the dream, whatever piece of the dream that you're living now, and that will have people understand you're their person in a way that's really authentic and really personal. All right. Good job, everyone. I'm really excited to get this conversation going. Remember, announcements, we have a huge week. Dr. Julia Mossbridge is with us tomorrow. tomorrow afternoon. Let me give you the exact dates. I'll give you the exact times. All right. Julia Mossbridge from the Telepathy Tapes will be with us tomorrow, 2 to 3 Eastern time. If you're wanting to write a book or to fine tune the book that you're writing or have it ROI better, come to Write a Best-Selling Book That Starts a Movement on Wednesday, the 19th. And on Friday, the download masterclass. Those of you that want to bring a little gamma brain training to accelerate, to make your 10-year plan, your 1-year plan, to make your 100x brand jump, to have that next goal, those synchronicities, those clarity moments coming to you, higher frequency, higher quality, come and do the brain training with us at noon on Friday. These are all free events. They're available to everyone. You just need to register so we can get you there, and the links and the replays and all the resources. And we're really, really excited to be with you for these events this week. So give yourself the gift, get filled up, get the support, and we're going to move everything forward together. All right. Have a great rest of your week.